Peace, family. Peace. We are going to do a review today on the trans community. There's a man called Matt Walsh. He is a writer of a book called Johnny the Walrus. Johnny the Walrus is about a boy who said he felt like a walrus. He was on the Dr. Phil show, popular show in the US. I myself have critiqued the transgender community, and I kind of feel like this guy has the same kind of views, but I don't know. So we're gonna see.
You're saying that there should be no construct of gender, just sex. You're either male or female.
Right.
And someone feeling in a mental, emotional way that they don't identify with the sex that they have been biologically created as and assigned at birth based on their genitalia.
What? Oh, for fuck's sake. How can you be assigned a gender at birth based on your genitalia? It's assigned for you. If you have female productive parts, you're a girl. If you have male productive parts, you're a boy. It's not assigned to you. You are what you are.
If they don't feel that way, that there's no construct that describes that, experiences that.
Well, that's got nothing to do with the reality. So you can feel however you want. I mean, I could sit here and say that I feel like a tomato plant, but that doesn't mean that I'm actually in those things. So your self-perception, you can have whatever self-perception you want.
Right.
But you can't expect me to take part in that self-perception
right.
or to take part in this kind of charade, this theatrical production.
First of all, what the fuck is that? First of all, that's a confusing image, that one. There's a man with a beard, makeup, earrings, long hair. That whole image is just a confusion to me. But I said the same thing Matt Walsh said on my video about the transgender community, that you can feel the way you want to feel. It doesn't mean that everyone else has to feel that way about you. Because if you feel this way, that doesn't mean that we should also see you this way. I see myself as handsome. However, if I went to court to force through a motion that all that look at me should call me handsome, well, that's just plain arrogant and egotistical. I'm entitled to my feelings, as are you. But your feelings are about yourself. They should not be my concern. They are your concern. What trans people are asking us to do is to see them the way they see themselves. It's perception. And perceptions are subjective and not objective. Your perception is not our perception. And we are not obligated to call you the thing that you wish to be called.
You don't get your own pronouns, just like you don't get your own prepositions or your own adjectives. You know, it's like if I were to tell you, my adjectives are handsome and brilliant, and no matter whatever you're talking about me, you have to describe me as handsome and brilliant, because that's how I... That's
exactly what I said. That's exactly what I said about 2 years ago. Have you seen my video, Matt Walsh? Did you watch my video? Yeah, your pronouns are basically how you feel about yourself. It's not about how other people feel about you, it's how you feel about yourself. No one should be forced into viewing you the way you view yourself. No one should be.
Identify. Makes no sense. You don't get your own pronouns. That's grammar, that's language.
So you think it's a delusion? Someone is self-delusional?
Yeah, I think it's delusion. It could be mental illness. It could be it's a lot of different things. With children, wow. You know, there's also just a basic.
You're wowing. You wowed, but you're a man with a beard, long hair, makeup, and earrings. But if he says that you have some kind of delusion, you're gonna wow.
When you hear a parent say, "Oh, my 4-year-old son came to me and said that I'm a girl now, and so that's what I'm gonna raise him as a girl." No, you're a 4-year-old. I have 4 kids. When a 4-year-old boy comes to you and says, "Oh, I'm a girl," here's a good follow-up question: what is a girl? Ask him what he means by that. What do you mean by girl? And when you ask him that, here's what he'll tell you. He will tell you what he really means is that he wants to do some of the things that girls do, like play with the dollhouse, or you know, he likes the color pink. That's fine, play with the dollhouse, but you're still a boy.
That's right.
That's a question I would like to throw out to other members of the panel. Actually, because just like the 4-year-old can't answer what is a girl, well, this is one of the problems with this left-wing gender ideology, is that no one who espouses it can even tell you what these words mean. It's like, what is a woman?
Well,
Can you tell me what a woman is?
no, I can't.
He can't tell you what, he doesn't know what a woman is. He identifies as non-binary trans-masculine. Everyone has the right to feel whatever they want about themselves. That's absolutely fine. I don't want anyone to be killed, harmed, or maimed, or hurt for identifying as something different, but you cannot force people to refer to you the way you see yourself. It's ridiculous. It's arrogant and egotistical at its highest level.
Because it's not for me to say. Womanhood looks different for everybody.
What do you define a woman as?
An adult human female.
And what is a female?
There you go.
Well,
how
that's
do you define a female?
someone with female reproductive organs.
Okay.
Someone who's, here's the thing, when you're female, it goes right down to your bones, your DNA. So that's why if someone dies,
Okay.
we could dig up their bones 100 years from now. We have no idea what they believed in their head, but
Right.
we can tell what sex they were because it's ingrained in every fiber of their being.
It's ingrained in every fiber of your being, in your DNA, in your genetics, in your chromosomes. It's in there. You can't get away from it. If you die and we had your DNA at the scene of a crime, or you done a crime, and they took your DNA, they can say, oh, a woman committed this crime. This woman's DNA was here. This man's DNA was here. You can identify it in your head however you want, but your DNA, your genetics, your chromosomes, they ain't lying on you. They're gonna tell us exactly who you are.
So I'm trying to understand. Your definition is that a woman is someone who is female, you said, right?
Correct, is
Okay.
a biological female.
So what happens if we have...
Look at the nails. Look at the nails. Look at the beard. Look at the earrings. What is going on? What is going on? Hopes to educate others on being non-binary. All right, let's continue.
maybe someone who is female, identifies as a woman, right? You know, cisgender woman, right? As you just explained.
And that thing, cisgender, forget all that. We ain't adhering to any of those terms that you guys want to make up and just espouse as if it makes sense. You're a woman, you're a man. There's no cisgender anything.
Maybe it doesn't have the ability to reproduce. Maybe it doesn't have those organs that you're talking about that are reproductive organs.
I have answered the question. You stood up here and said trans women are women.
Yes.
Tell me what you mean. What is a woman?
Womanhood is something that, just as Ethan explained, I cannot define because I am not
But
myself.
you use the words.
You can't define it because you're not a woman. No matter how, no matter how many times you go to the nail salon, no matter how many times you get your hair done, you're not a woman.
The word. So what did you mean when you said trans women are women if you don't know what it
Interrupting,
means?
Right? So here's the thing. So I do not define what a woman is because I do not identify as a woman. Womanhood is something that is an umbrella term. It includes people
That
who
describes what?
people who identify as a woman.
Identify as what?
As a woman.
What is that?
Was to each their own. Each woman, each man, each person is going to have a different relation with their own gender identity and define it differently.
That doesn't-
And so
I'm not
trans
asking for
women are women too.
Okay.
What's the clap for? That didn't even make any sense. Oh my gosh. Is there an applause sign that's being like shown and lit up for them to applaud at that point in time? Or did Dr. Phil get a bunch of, I don't know, left-leaning feminist trans people in the audience to listen? I don't know. That doesn't make any sense to me.
And you want to hold on.
Say it again. Trans
You
women
want
are
to
women.
reduce.
What you
listen,
won't even
listen.
tell me
You
what the
wanna
word means, though. So
you
that's
want to
the
reduce
problem.
women. You want to reduce men down to maybe just their genetics, our genitals,
No.
our chromosomes, right? That's what you're
What
saying.
you want to
that
do is
that's what we
what
are
you
at the end of the
you
day.
want to do is appropriate women. You want to appropriate womanhood.
Right, that's exactly what I said. Women. Where are the women? A man who can look like this, some men that look like that, people like Caitlyn Jenner, can spend most of their life as a man and then all of a sudden have a few operations and all of a sudden they're a woman. They have no idea. These men don't have any idea what it means to be a woman. Like, how would I know as a man what it means to be a woman? I've never been one. Just like I've never been a tree. So if I say, oh, I feel like a tree, I've never known what it means to be a tree or feel like a tree. In my view, what transgender people are doing is, especially the men, is they have seen what women look like and they've heard what women sound like, and they have made some kind of caricature based around what they think a woman actually is. They don't know what it's like to be a woman. You can't feel like something that you've never felt. How would you even know what it feels like to be a woman? I do not know what it feels like to be Chinese. I've never been Chinese. But if I was to, because transracial is a thing now, also I've made a video about being transracial. If I said I feel like I'm Chinese, how would I even know what that feels like if I've never actually been Chinese? What in the world is going on? I believe that human beings are absolutely losing their fucking shit. Okay? They're losing their minds, they're losing their shit, they're not making any sense nowadays. It's all about feelings, and I'm just wondering, when did feelings trump factual information? When did that happen? How did we get to this place? You can identify as what you like, okay? But please do not ask me to identify you the way you identify yourself. Peace.